During tonight's show, Ricky Starks and Juice Robinson almost came head-to-head, but then Juice Robinson said, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to run out into the crowd and then immediately say, you keep these idiots back. Maybe, if you don't run out into the crowd, you won't have to have anyone keep said idiots back. But most importantly, he said, I'm not going to fight you here in Kansas City or Independence, wherever we are. I'm not even going to fight you next week in St. Louis. And why is that? Because I hate Missouri. I'll fight you under the bright lights in a big city like New York City. And why did Juice Robinson feel this way? Because I'll be dead in the cold ground before I recognize Missouri. Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it. It's Saturday night, and you know what that means. Simpsons did it. I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Rampage. Special Saturday night edition, and boy, they certainly put effort into this show. At least that's what I wanted to say. It's not even the fault of the talents at this point, just the people putting the shows together. They just don't care. Just put matches out, try to have some stories. And any of the stories they generally try to put any effort into don't really necessarily click. Rampage just feels so meaningless, and rumor has it that Warner Brothers Discovery wants to have a third wrestling-themed show. I'm not talking about All Access. I'm talking about a Saturday night wrestling show. I'm all for people getting more TV time, but if the ratings are only holding steady when it comes to Dynamite, and they haven't even retained a lot of the audience lately, and Rampage has crashed, God, what is a Saturday night show going to do? Rampage just has not felt must-see for so goddamn long. It's really getting sad. I'm going to tell you quickly what happened on the show, because all due respect to the talents that were putting their hearts and souls and their bodies out there, they were doing the best they could. None of the matches really meant anything. I mean, the women's match might have had the most interesting intrigue of an angle. Other than that, though, we had JR, Shivani, and Excalibur on commentary until later when we got a fourth and almost fifth commentator, because we need more people at that fucking commentary table. I love Jim Ross. Jim Ross should not be calling action all that often. I know he has health issues. He's been dealing, with the skin cancer treatment and all that, but even before that, he just was taking the piss out of stuff. And while I find it funny a lot, he clearly just needs to go home. I know he has passion for wrestling, but it's not beneficial to his legacy. It's not beneficial to them, making the brand, making it so fans can take the brand seriously. Even though JR has a great name, just at this point, but then again, we got Hobbs with QT Solo, and I don't know who the blonde is, and I don't care. This whole QTV thing is stupid. It's goddamn stupid, and you know what? Hobbs is toast. I love Hobbs. I'm going to root for him to succeed, but he's toast here. He was given the TNT Championship. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore, because Hobbs is going to be basically trying to fight out of a quicksand pit about 50 miles long just to get back to where he was. And where he was being kept off TV for multiple weeks for no goddamn reason, and he took on Penta, and look, it was fine, like the match last week with Phoenix, but none of this means anything because this association with QT is so motherfucking terrible. We get a melee and a title to the head because Hobbs needs to cheat to beat Penta, and I like Penta, don't get me wrong, but this isn't beneficial to Hobbs at all. Hobbs wins, and Phoenix runs down with the ring hammer, or the ring bell hammer, and fights everybody off. Basically says, you get away from my friends. This association with QT fucking sucks. So we get clips of the main event last week, and he's got a board with a nail in it. Bigger boards with bigger nails, and soon they'll build a board with the nails so big it'll destroy them all. That's all I could picture with that main event. Even though El Hijo del Vikingo and Omega did have a pretty good main event, all I could picture was the board with the nail in it that Hangman had. So anyway, then Stark shows up, calls out Juice. Juice immediately goes to in front of him and is like, no, runs out into the crowd, says, you keep those idiots back. Or you keep these idiots back. Don't run into the fucking crowd. Is Juice okay? I know he's supposed to be insane, but I don't know. I don't really get the whole point here. But then again, it's the Bullet Club Association. And Bullet Club has really not meant much of anything for a while. So, they're going to fight in New York City in a couple weeks. Team TNA wants respect, I guess, or whatever. It's Jarrett, Lethal, Sanjay, and Giant Silva Jr. Brody King with Julia Hart took on Jake Hager. Why is Jake Hager still here? Genuine goddamn question. Besides being Jericho's friend, what has Jake Hager offered? Nothing. Brody King won, but not before Anna Jay touched Julia Hart's hat. Make the hat perfect and you touch it. She posted her, and that's it right there. But Brody King wins, so at least it seems like they're kind of giving up on Jake Hager. Because honestly, Jake Hager should not be gaining any meaningful wins or really any meaningful TV time. And there you go. Swerve mentioned something about Keith Lee. He was going to bring people he didn't expect. I don't know who the hell the guy was with him. If he said his name, and I like Swerve, and I like Keith Lee, I don't know what's going on. And it genuinely doesn't really matter, even though, again, I like Swerve and Keith Lee. Ty Valkyrie beat Layla Gray very quickly with Jade in the corner of Layla Gray. There, that's about all my tired ass can muster this week. Road to Valhalla 1, 2, 3. I like Layla Gray, and hopefully Layla Gray can get more opportunities. She has a good look, and she seems to be getting better. And at least with this, it's something. Road to Valhalla to Sterling, who really looked like he landed on his face. And it seems like, okay, Taya Valkyrie versus Jade. If anybody can get a decent length match out of Jade, it's Taya. And I mean something decent length and good. Because the good performances for Jade have been few and far between. That's not knocking her. She looks great, but you can't ever go too goddamn long. But Taya has a lot of experience. I'm looking forward to this. Unfortunately, I fear that after this, they're going to push Taya right to Dark Elevation and Rampage and meaningless stuff. I hope I'm wrong. So, the former 2.0 guys are there just to freaking just destroy what little credibility the commentary team has left. All to talk about, the Acclaimed. They want to have the Acclaimed in the Jericho Appreciation Society because they're sports entertainers. The whole Jericho group has just been so goddamn bad. AEW has plenty of good shit going on, but they are spinning their wheels with a lot of stuff, and a lot of it is self-inflicted damage. So the Kingdom with Maria, they make their entrance, and the Acclaim make their entrance. And Caster did a decent rap. He said Mike Bennett is best known for being a cuck. Poor Mike Bennett. That run for him and Maria. I mean, they got paid well, I'm sure, and Mike is clean now. He was going through some stuff. I'm very happy that he looks great. He's doing great. He's been doing great work for the last few years. But that was funny. That was fun. That was pretty good. I got a pop from the crowd. The Kingdom versus the Acclaimed. I like both these teams. Even Taven. Taven isn't bad. Taven just should have never been the Ring of Honor World Champion. I believe G1 Supercard. Never should have. It was well worked. Just the problem it won Maria, very distracting. Very distracting. TV does not do Maria justice at all, and I mean that with all the respect in the world. But the whole thing was Menard and Parker were talking about the various things. They want to take the Jericho Appreciation Society out on the town, and they want to bring the producer all his treats. The producer who's going to come up here, and he's going to mention how he did not care for this. You did not care for this because you just wanted to see a straight tag match. Top Flight came out. You were disappointed. You agreed with JR because JR says, this is a tragic series of events. Maria didn't have to leave. JR being horny on Maine. You being horny on Maine. How can you be horny on Maine? You got snipped anyway. Hey. The camera loves you. The viewers love you. Okay, so you just don't want to chime in about this match at all? No? Okay. The match was fine. Top Flight showed up to chase Maria off, who lost a shoe. And the Acclaim won with a mic drop. The show... I know it sounds like I'm dumping on the company. I'm really not. I really am trying hard here to see the positives. Yes, they're getting TV time, but overall this show... this isn't the worst episode of Rampage by far. But Rampage as a concept just feels meaningless outside of just being programming. And it's really sad. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.